Hello and welcome to today's YouTube tutorial from Peakboard. Today I want to show you how you can create this production dashboard based on opcua data. How this works you see now. I'm now here on the Peakboard Designer where I start by adding a rectangle on my canvas, increase the size here and divide it with 3 because that's the background I later want to have for my 3 production lines. Then I just copy and paste it by pressing Ctrl C, Ctrl V and putting it here on the different places. So the next thing is to add the headers here. So for that I just add here a text to the first of my 3 rectangles and I call this one line 1 and put the font to header 1. Also I set the alignment here to center. Now I add a line by dragging this one to my screen and just place it on the right position here. So let's do it like that and set the line color to green. And now we have done that. So now let's go over to adding the data source. For that I just click here on add data source where I select opcua. I can also just search it on the search bar on the top. Now I give it a name. The first opcua data source I will call line 1 because it's just the first line where I get the data for. Then I set reuse existing connection to enter my opcua credentials, otherwise I could just do this manually, but I've saved it before. Now let's click on manage subscriptions and connect to the opcua server where I first select factory data, go to template data and select the workstation 1 and here I select quality, availability, performance and process step. Let's click on select. Can click here on enable listener to see the live data from my opcua system. Let's click on OK button. Now I want to calculate some more values, so just one more value. For that I click here with the right mouse button and select process data with a data flow. And I call this one line 1 OEE. And here I can now manipulate my data. For example, I can add a new column, what I will do now. So for calculating the OEE, I return here the value of the quality divided with 100. Add some brackets there. Multiply it with the availability and multiply it with the performance. That's just the formula for the OEE. Let's call it OEE and the data type should be number. Click on OK and now I have here this new column. I will click now again on OK and I've created this data flow here on the left side. So now I can just show this value. First I add a new header here and let's place it on that position and I enter here OEE and set the font here to title and also put it to the center. Now I want to show the value of the OEE, so for this I just place here a text block underneath the OEE header and I connect it to my value which I get from the data flow in the calculated column OEE. Also I want to format it as a percentage with 2 decimals and center it to the mid and set the size to extra large. Let's move it a little bit up and now add the other 3 values as a circular gauge by adding such a control here and connect the first one to the quality column and move it underneath that one and let's place it like here and change the color to the same green and set the gradient there. Now I add a text underneath it to describe the gauge. So for that, just place that one here, center it, and change the text to quality. Mark both of these elements and copy paste them and move them next to each other. So let's do it like that. Take one bit left and then go into each of the controls and connect it to the correct column. So this one should be the performance. That's why I also will change the text to performance. And this one I want to connect to the availability. And of course the text also should fit to that one. Now add one more of these headers underneath that one, place that here and rename the OEE now to process step. Here I want to show the current process where we are in this order we show on that line. So for that I place here 4 different ellipses and set the background of it to gray and duplicate it a few times like that and here, and let's mark all of them, make the spacing equal. And now I can go into the conditional formatting to set up some rules. In that case I want to say, I will call it step, and I select the process step column in that case and compare. If it is 1, then I want to set a border color, which I set also to the screen color, and border size as well, which I then set to 4. Press on OK here and copy this conditional formatting to paste it into all the others. And now I go into their rules and change the value from 1 to 2 or 3 or 4 to just select the current process step we are in. Okay, that's basically all we need to do here, and I just want to do all the same steps for the other both lines. For that I can just duplicate this production line, copy with data flows and paste it in there and reconnect all the elements then. And now when I'm full done with all the other lines, I can just go into the preview to check out if everything is working as expected. So let's click here, give it a second. And now we can see we get the live data out of our OPC system and showing the values here. If you want, of course, you can also connect different values like your order data from your SAP system. For that, you can just take a look into our SAP tutorials here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.